What's next for a neighborhood under siege? We'll have to wait and see. Reporting live, Sadie Sinclair, Channel 7 News.
This is San Francisco.
We have returned. It is Tofu and I on today's episode, taking stock, doing a little inventory count. We do these episodes every so often to let people know how the podcast is going, where it's going. A podcast that would not come out as regularly without the support of people who go to patreon.com/SadFrancisco and sign up for a membership. Thank you to everyone who has done just that. Unfortunately, we are not independently wealthy and have debts we have to pay off. And although I recognize that social media platforms are only getting worse, if you're not following us on Blue Sky at Sad Francisco, on YouTube at Sad Francisco Podcast, Instagram, sadfrancis.co, please consider doing so to help increase the reach of our content. Welcome, everybody, to the all-staff meeting of two. We are all here, corporation-wide, all hands on deck.
Quarterly meeting. We are reviewing quarter two, going into quarter three of 2025.
Now that my Murphy bet is down and America continues its decline, we are giving you a little report back on the last little while. We haven't done one of these for a minute.
For a quarter. Last quarter.
Yeah, we're a little late, but we're just gonna, run down what happened of late with the podcast, what is coming up, and let you in on some things that are going on, some parasociality, if you will.
Yeah. So at the time of this recording, it's the 8th. So we just uploaded, it was like blocking the Golden Gate Bridge, which is like the live you recorded at Counterpulse.
Yeah.
Back in June.
Yeah, which was, I can't say that it was my favorite event without feeling guilty about other past events. But I will say this was the biggest event. And I was so stoked to be there, meeting a bunch of new people that have all taken a great personal risk, in some cases still being pursued by the DA here in town, Brooke Jenkins, on trumped up charges of like felony conspiracy, like things related to kidnapping is what they're going after people for, false imprisonment, like just really absurd things that, you would think as a lawyer, as a public servant, you don't want someone to pursue.
You think they would focus on other stuff rather than pursuing organizations like this.
Just saying.
A lot of news has happened that we haven't really dedicated an episode to. So this is also like a good time to kind of like talk about it, because like we do have like a content schedule that's like made like weeks and like a month beforehand. Like the episodes that you see are already planned out and recorded probably like a month or 2 months ago. It's already like kind of scheduled. So like obviously we weren't really prepared for like what was happening in like LA and then what's happening in Iran. I think the moment you left to Athens was when like a lot of the protesting broke out on the media.
Went off.
Still going on. Oh my God. It's like, even in the Bay Area, there's just a lot of like ICE like watches that's going on, and like my local like Instagram stories from like some friends.
It's every Tuesday actually is when people are going to try to be at the ICE offices in San Francisco. I mean, the problem with trying to go up against this institution like ICE, that in the most recent budget, the big beautiful bill that people have been talking about that gives Trump all of these new powers and ICE is about to become the biggest law enforcement agency in the United States because of the billions and billions of dollars that this bill appropriates for ICE specifically. So people are going, obviously in LA, I think because of algorithms, you're getting some of the news, you're not getting a lot of it. The, corporate media continues to downplay the crisis that ICE is causing in California. And people are going every Tuesday to the ICE offices to try to de-arrest. And I am in full support. I'm gonna try to get down there at some point, but it is the type of thing, like we tried to do this with encampment sweeps, with like them sweeping people's tents away when people have nowhere else to go.
Mhm.
And it's just unfortunately it's a losing battle. Like you can help people from time to time, helping people carry their stuff, trying to intimidate Department of Public Works and police from doing anything too wild. But Department of Public Works and the police like are so funded and have so many people working for them, 8 hours a day.
Yeah, they have
Every
full-time
day.
jobs dedicated to getting people out of
Almost.
like places that they wish to just remove and stuff, while you're probably like posting on your Instagram story or just taking time out of your day. You're probably on like your day off to like help these people
Yeah,
as
and
little as
so
you
I mean,
can.
even it's amazing that people are going out and spending a little bit of time, or even like some people out were going out, like they're going out at like 8 a.m., showing up at the ICE office when it opens to make sure that those kidnappers don't the Gestapo don't go after people. But it's not a sustainable long-term thing. Like we need to break the system that has just been funded beyond what my concept of money even is.
Beyond like
Like
some countries, like whole other countries' military budgets and stuff. I'm like, how? Hold up.
yeah, I mean, our military budget dwarfs even like, China's military budget, which I mean, I don't know if people have heard, but China is a much bigger country population wise
Yeah,
than the US. And yet we spend multiple times what most other countries are spending. If not for that, we could all have free college, free dinner, free rent,
it's
like the military.
165 billion or 100 billion, or is it
I don't know the
100
exact.
billion increase?
It's a huge increase. In addition to, all of the, it is absurd how, before
It was
25 years ago, ICE didn't exist. It's just
right.
another one of these add-ons that came as a result of the war on terror. Like TSA did not exist in the same way that it exists today. I mean, it feels sometimes like the only job out there is like a security job or a law enforcement job.
God, yeah, with the job market right now, my God.
But that said, I was in Greece when the ICE protests first started going off. I was like checking my phone the entire time and like, whoa, like, should I consider myself lucky to be out of the country right now? Like, there's some, guilt associated with it. Why am I not in the city? But then like coming back and like recognizing like we need to like think about like how to change these systems and wrest the power away from fascists. I mean, I of course fully support people like going out there, putting their bodies on the line. I am grateful that people are doing that, and I have done that in my own way. It's also like a weird thing where it's like, how much do you report directly on it
Yeah,
without like giving away too much? That's always a thing.
yeah. I had to warn like some of my family and some friends that I'm with who are just like were legally here, but who are obviously just like a target for ICE just because.
Well, yeah, because they're
Yeah,
like going after people who are citizens.
yeah,
So,
it's wild.
yeah, I mean, we are really in a time that is, I think, going to be looked at back at as like this, wow, this is absurd. You get some perspective being outside the country and like talking to people who are not from the US, who are just watching what is happening because we're the imperial core. So, people are, unfortunately, what we do has an effect on other places in the world. So they have to pay attention in a way that we are, I mean, pretty sure most people in the US couldn't find Athens, Greece, or Greece rather, on a map. Anyway, they're
I,
listening
I, I
to
actually had to double check where it was just now. I was like, oh, okay.
Mediterranean somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Greece was amazing. We got to hang out and with people at Amoka, the Athens Museum of Queer Art. I can send a picture of a tag that people did. The tagging, the graffiti in Athens is feast for the eyes, I would say. Here in San Francisco, a tag gets covered up in 24 hours. Although I did see those like cute like BART train fuck ice tags.
Oh yeah, those are on
Um,
there for a little bit.
yeah, for a few days. I think those were up, but like, yeah, the tags are amazing. We like left a little bit of propaganda there. I was doing like a couple events there at the Museum of Queer Arts for the book that I did with Miss Major. Some of the propaganda ended up as tags on the walls in English we saw. So that was cute.
Crazy, crazy.
I want to do some kind of some Greek content. We stayed near Exarchia, which is like there. It's basically a whole neighborhood that is somewhat controlled by like anarchists, which doesn't
Interesting.
exist so much over here. Occasionally like there's people start like a land project out in the wilderness, and
What neighborhood
uh,
was this?
it's called Exarchia, and it's in Athens. And yeah, it's long time been like anarchist forward. They have a lot of the same issues as we do. Like a lot of Europe is trending conservative, just like in the US, but it's still not as bad as it is here in terms of just people aren't getting kidnapped in the same way that they are here.
Right.
But we could also talk about this was the biggest month for listens, or June rather. Last month was the biggest month for listens.
Very,
So
very,
thank you all
very good.
for um, opening your ears to this podcast. Oh my
Thank
God,
you
I'm
for supporting
horny.
queer work.
Yes, 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 yes. We gave you like a fairly gay June. Again, yeah, like thank you to the people who came out to the biggest event also that we've ever co-hosted at Counterpulse, on the bridges. And of course, thanks to my people at Gay Shame.
Oh, I forgot to ask what was the if how was like did you attend the event where like the 10-year anniversary for like the Miss Major documentary? Did you attend that?
I had just gotten to Athens, unfortunately. But yeah, Storm Miguel and Annalise, who we had on, yeah, said it was a good time. Major showed up
Oh,
to
cool.
the event and seen it in Greece by now too, which is very cute. Major's going worldwide for sure. Portuguese version for the book is about to drop, so might have to go to Portugal at some point.
Oh, wow.
I think that the numbers make sense. Not that, we're necessarily a mirror for what is going on in media, but more people are getting information from podcasts. More people are going to individual creators because of lost trust with major corporate news institutions. As somebody who used to work for some of these institutions, like not that long ago, I continued to pay attention a little bit to like what is happening in the mainstream media, and doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Good riddance in many ways. I was like reading, there's like a YouGov poll that was conducted every year for the last few years. And in the US in 2025, the Weather Channel is one of the only channels that most Americans trust to be unbiased. And then I noticed, yeah, like a distant second was not even a US controlled media corporation. It's the BBC, that being the British Broadcasting Corporation or channel. Corporate media, I mean, it's basically like in this alternate dimension where you can't say certain things. Certainly, you can't say anything about Palestine. You can't talk about climate change being a reason for, like, for example, right now, like I saw that the floods in Texas, like the body count just surpassed 100. but the media won't talk about it in a way that is really connected to the climate at all.
Yeah, it's
Really
just like
like
another
to,
accident that just happened to happen.
right, right. Like, oh, it's the weather. It's just, being wacky when the weather is weathering. Also, like, it's been like annoying to watch how the corporate media has been complicit, like the New York
Mhm.
Times, Washington Post, all of these like legacy news media corporations are like fear mongering about Iran in the same way that they were leading up to the Iraq War.
Right.
Just straight up,
A lot of
picking
history
and
repeating.
choosing.
Yeah.
What's up?
A lot of history repeating with that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like picking and choosing like their, fear mongering sources to talk to. And so you only hear the sides of like the think tanks that want us to go to war because they're friends with people who will benefit from endless war, weapons manufacturers, drone manufacturers, like the military industrial complex is strong in 2025 in the US.
Since you were in Athens for about like what 2 weeks or so, if you're like able to like look at like some news there and how they portray the news,
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah. I
know like
mean,
it's weird. Like a lot of places outside the U.S., they just tell the news and not like give an agenda that's like related to it.
there is a bit more. I mean, the bias exists everywhere,
Yeah,
unfortunately. So, and
I
yeah,
wanted
I
to see
mean,
like how consistent that was like in Athens.
yeah, I mean, I think that nowhere else, like, given the fact that more Americans trust the British Broadcasting Corporation or channel, more than most of the, even PBS and NPR, more
Mm,
people trust it to be give factual information than all of these American public institutions, news institutions. It's, I think, the perspective of media outside the US is, I wouldn't say that it's more unbiased necessarily. I think everybody is going to have some issues that they don't want to talk about. All of the corporate media is, never going to be fully anti oligarch because that is going to cut into the profits of, the Jeff Bezoses of the world. He owns Washington
yeah,
Post, or the Mark Benioffs of the world. He owns Time Magazine. So you're never going to see like the amount of energy that we have seen about like the protests that we've seen. I think you never see that translate into as much media as reflects what is going on in the streets. And right now, I think there is a perception that people would get from looking at some media that people are just like laying back and letting the fascism roll over us, but
yeah, yeah,
that's not the case. Like there's people that are like at the ICE offices going week after week here, and in LA it's continues to be in certain, very pockets of LA.
yeah,
People they're out there and making sure, Portland, there's all of these different cities. There's actions happening every day. We're just not hearing about them. Some of that could be the algorithm. Certainly, like there is censorship. TikTok, I think, is probably the worst for this in
yeah.
terms of like
There's also
social
just
unrest.
so much of it to where a lot of people would like tune out to it if they're not like completely like invested in it, which
Yeah,
is
I just
sadly a
think
majority of people, unfortunately.
there
Like,
is that. There is
yeah,
that. There is kind of like hoping that, I guess, it affects, my neighbor, but it doesn't affect me or something like that. I think it is really, I don't know, in California particularly, like everybody knows people who weren't necessarily born here. And even that, basically, this government is like trying to take away birthright citizenship, even.
yeah, that's
Um, so, I mean, America is cooked. We know this. But will it be like a long, slow decline that's like just really uncomfortable and painful, and like a lot of people end up dying? There's like a lot of violence, but like, or will it be like a quick, sudden excision where, I don't know, California secedes, a bunch of states, we have Cascadia, California, Oregon, Washington break off. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, uh, it's like
I
another
like
one of
yeah.
those
I like to think there's
situations.
more sensible people out there to where it wouldn't be such a fast like break off into the like how much like the dictatorship would like take power. I like to think there's a lot of more people out there who are hopefully in positions of power and also like in positions of like social influence that like know better, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also, yeah, we'll see. But
I saw something like I'm not a tanky, but like the what was it, like Xi Jinping, like let America go basically to the rest of the world. Like they're doing a very good job of kind of like making themselves crumble. So just gotta like all
really doing a
of
good job creating a lot of hope with this.
yeah, I know. I know. Well, I mean, ultimately, we're all gonna like not all of us, because people are being like straight up kidnapped. People are dying in prisons and detention centers, dying at the hands of police. But a lot of us are still gonna be here at the end of all this,
Yeah.
whatever the end looks like. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate the work that a lot of people who have been on this podcast are doing to make sure that
Oh yeah.
things like, mutual aid and just simple things like sustaining community that will like kind of bring us past all this bullshit and like help us survive. Yeah, just very thankful to be knowing all of these people that have been through here, that have been cared about more than just
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, I keep thinking like it's super easy to just kind of like fall into a lot of like apathy and despair because like the more you would like focus on like stuff like this, the more anger you would get. And like no matter what you do, it seems like, oh, it's just gonna the worst outcome's always gonna happen.
Yeah.
So the easy answer is just like why bother? Why bother even paying
Right.
attention? But then we had our biggest month in June and like more people are
Well,
like kind of just seeing that like, oh, there's more people out there gives me a lot of hope. More people that are
right.
like listening to this content and like actively like interacting with it gives me a lot of hope. Not give up and not just be so apathetic to like what's happening in the
Yeah.
world. Even
Me
like
too.
don't let the negativity and just all the bad news consume you.
No, it does give me hope
Yeah.
too. I mean, just that you wouldn't know from corporate media doesn't reflect how many people are actually really pissed off right now
Yeah.
and do not like. I think the No Kings protest that happened when I was overseas
Oh God. Yeah.
was
Oh,
like
that
maybe
was
the biggest protest, at least in the last like 25 years, that day across the country.
one day I had work and I'm like, I dang it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there will be more opportunities, like different opportunities, like people are just getting
Yeah.
where they're fitting
Even in
in.
my
And
own like social circles, I saw like people on stories attending those protests like all over who I didn't would never expect,
yeah.
which
And
which is cool, which is really cool.
totally, I think that those protests, like, although, I mean, for me, I'm like, get with a group that you are pretty aligned with their politics and you can get along with the people and see like yourself working with them long term. Try to find a group like that, which I've found with Gay Shame. But people, there's something for everybody in organizing. The No Kings was like just a show of like, oh, even people who have never maybe been to a protest in their lives, like that was, maybe their first protest that they've been to. I think there's been a lot of discourse about like, what is the effectiveness of having a big ass protest when we clearly have politicians who don't give a fuck. But I think that so many things can come from bringing more people out. Like, I mean, even if they're just connecting with other people who are pissed off, even if it is just that thing of like, oh, well, I feel a little bit nihilist or less nihilistic. I feel a
Yeah.
little bit more hopeful because I know that other people are also pissed off, which I didn't know before because social media isn't necessarily showing me this kind of content.
Right. It's super easy to like see like, oh, like all these protests are happening and nothing's changing, but like you never know. Like some like protests can actually like kind of turn the tide in like a lot of like
Of
local
course.
elections too.
We never know what, yeah, I mean, I
You
think I
could
said
have
it
like a
last.
bunch of constituents come together through that event.
Yeah, I mean, I've
The
kind of given up
the counter
on
question is why not?
politicians.
Like
But yes, I,
every
I
counter,
continue to reserve the right to complain about politicians
yeah.
as much as I don't put faith in them.
Every
People,
time somebody goes just like, why are you doing that? The always counter thing is why not?
yeah,
Why not?
exactly. Something inside me said, do it.
Yeah.
So I did it. Counterspin and Citations Needed are podcasts that I don't, maybe I haven't recommended before, but they're podcasts on media literacy. They'll talk about like anti-trans, anti-Palestinian bias in corporate media narratives in an interesting kind of way. Definitely recommend that for people who are more interested in kind of what we're talking about with
Yeah.
the fabrications.
We can compile a list of all the podcasts and just put it in the show notes and description after
Sure.
this. Yeah, definitely want to do that.
Or yeah. I can I'll make a post on Patreon and then we
Yeah.
can link to it.
Yes. Yeah. Because common sense isn't really as common as I would thought. But you know, people can always learn. People can always like be better. You can always go up from here. Yeah. But speaking of the Patreon, thank you for the people, the new members and stuff. Even like the free members. Like, thank you for just showing interest and showing support. Every time there's a notification for like a new member, you know, it brings a smile to my face. That was just like, okay, makes you work a little bit more harder for on this episode or something, or like,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, we have a couple other jobs. This is not how we are surviving. I would continue to do this podcast regardless because I'm too old to like not, I guess I've been doing like journalism. This is like still even after a couple of years feels like a newer medium to be
yeah.
delivering the news. But that said, yeah, no, it's very encouraging, of
I
course.
never even see myself in journalism, but here I
Right.
am.
I know. I
Here I
know.
am.
Well, that's what we need
Um,
more of because like all the journalism students, if they're going to journalism school, they're coming out and they're going to work for Uber or the White House, like as like PR. So not a lot of people left to report for the people. Think that we already have a post up on Patreon, like with like other local news sources that kind of trust, 48 Hills.
yeah,
I'll take a lote, a couple of them.
yeah. We'll
They do
also post
exist.
again, post a link to that post in the description
Yeah,
and
yeah.
show notes.
But yeah, I mean, anything that you wish we would cover more of.
With our current capacity, we just keep it up. Just
Yep,
keep doing
yep,
it.
yep.
I think like with time we'll always like cover a story that would happen. Unfortunately we won't have like as much like to dedicate an episode with since like I'm on like mostly like on the podcast side and stuff. You're obviously on everything. We're working on all the shorts, so that's like a good like supplement for like us covering like breaking news and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah, because breaking news, yeah, podcasts are just not the best place for
yeah,
breaking news, more
unless
for
there's
like
like
contextual.
20 of us working on this for some reason.
Maybe someday. Although,
Maybe.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
Uh,
kind
the-
of like I mean, I think I mean these are really somewhat
there-
enjoyable
yeah,
episodes for me because like I just kind of like shooting the shit and actually talking
yeah.
about what's happening, bigger
There's
picture
definitely there's
podcast.
definitely always room for us to like add in more people to work with and stuff. But obviously at our current capacity, uh, we can't.
Yeah. Not
Um,
everybody wants to be perceived, unfortunately.
I was
definitely.
about to just turn off my camera and go like, Toshio, can we just have the popsicle sticks as us for this
Oh
episode?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah. I think
I don't want to.
that
I
would
didn't want to
surprise.
edit that. I didn't want to edit that. I have a lot
A
to
lot of
edit this week.
animation.
So yeah,
Maybe that would be cute for next time.
for
Little
like a
art
breaking.
project.
Yeah, sure. We've done it before, but I kind of like cover a lot more stuff like culturally within our region and stuff. So like with Chris Lee, we covered Yun and stuff, and then we had
Yep.
Brandon Lee talking about his experience in the Philippines, and then we also had not even kind of culture, but like even locally, like about like the radiation disaster at Hunters Point. I didn't know about that with like Chris Roberts in
Yeah.
that happened 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah. I just saw
you know,
Chris
kind
yesterday.
of yeah.
So
Oh,
and
nice.
gonna have him back later
Sick.
this
Okay,
year.
cool.
Yeah. So stoked about that.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
I
I
think
feel
like
like
just anything related to like people's like cultural identity or episodes I really enjoy like listening into. Not
yeah,
even
yeah.
editing, just listening into, and that I forget that I'm supposed to edit this.
All right.
Um
Well, that's what we want.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, I feel that like, I think finding like little like newsy angles around like queer and trans shit and Asian shit, is something that I want to continue to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard of like a few different outlets that are starting up. Of course, there's like tons of different influencers that you can go to for like identity based content online. But
Which is cool.
yeah, I mean, I'm interested in doing more of that, especially like just given that the state that we are in,
Yeah.
the kind of U-turn that we made around like, the way that the government treats trans people, that we have a government that is for the most part targeting Latina people, but like also a lot of like Southeast Asians, South Asians are getting caught up with ICE right now.
Oh yeah. I oh yeah. Which is more the
So
reason why to like I want to cover like stuff culturally because just like oh there's historical reasons why people deserve to be here and stuff and
yeah, yeah,
there's more to life than just also just knowing more people's culture and
yeah,
being
yeah,
able to express that more.
yeah. One of the groups that we've interviewed like ways back, Nikkei Progressives and Suru for Solidarity, like they're these
Was
Japanese
I
American
there for
organizations.
was I
What's
there
up?
for that episode?
I think it might have been just before you started editing. So no, it was like
Oh,
yeah, they're going out to like try to, stop these new ICE institutions from being built in these empty prisons in California that are still on quote unquote warm shutdown, which means there's basically like a staff still there,
yeah.
still got electricity and water and all this shit. We're paying to keep these prisons open just in case, they want to
So four or
repurpose them
five
as
people are collecting a good paycheck right now.
more than that, I'm sure,
Probably.
sadly. Yeah, it's just this, another prison industrial complex
Uh,
issue that we can't let these prisons go because what if we need them to victimize other people? So Japanese American groups are going and, pointing out as I've done, to a certain extent, pointing out the connections between the internment in World War II
yeah.
and what's happening now.
Double backing to that comment over like where I said just like, oh, people are collecting a paycheck, where it's just like I noticed a lot of advertisements for like job opportunities within like, the prison industrial complex.
Yep.
A lot of like local PDs are just like asking for people to like just like hiring and stuff and like showing off the benefits.
Giving
Local
bonuses.
yeah, local prisons and juvenile halls are just asking for like a lot of more like hiring applications and stuff, which is like
Yep.
something I never saw before, or at least I didn't pay attention to until now. That like me being like working 9 billion jobs to afford life.
No, it's horrible. Yeah, because
Ignore the Pokemon cards on the side right here. But it's just really weird that like the most lucrative and like available job right now is within like the prison industrial complex.
yeah, no,
It's like showing up.
that's how you know this country is on the decline because the only
Yeah.
jobs are left are these security jobs.
Well, they put
But
in 160 billion like budget into whatever these jobs like ice jobs are. So
Yeah, I
would have
did
been
see
really nice
though.
for like help with like agriculture stuff and like oh whatever.
Right, right. Stuff that's actually generative that is has positive effects for us all. Never, it's they don't want to pay for that. I did see though, like there a news story about how like ICE agents are already starting to like quit because of
Crazy.
public shaming effectively
Yeah, like what?
has worked to a certain extent,
Yeah.
which is good. Keep that up.
Yeah. And I hope those people can find better employment to where they can be actually proud of that too.
Yeah, some of them need to be shot into space. But I
That, that's a
guess we did
joke. That's a joke.
right for all
We're just gonna
the
put that in a
feds
joke.
listening.
In Minecraft and whatever.
I'm excited this week actually. I'm going to talk to Sophie Lewis, who
Hmm.
wrote this book, Enemy Feminisms, that is all about like the worst feminists that we've ever had
This
in
checks
the
off my
history of the world.
cultural identity based episodes. So yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
already hitting the marks.
There are a lot
Um,
of horrible, horrible the white feminists from history that Sophie wrote a whole book about these villains.
my
Um,
my
that's
favorite author is Bill Hooks, so we can talk about that all day. So yeah,
well, then you will, yeah,
asking you
enjoy.
what content do you want to see in the future, even though most of it's like you're spearheading. So
Oh, yeah, no, I'm excited about that interview. We got to like hang out a couple of weeks back. She was staying at my significant other's, and then Keith McHenry just consented to being interviewed, so that'll be coming up. He is the one of the original co-founders of Food Not Bombs, which started in Santa Cruz, actually, which I did not know until very recently.
that's cool. Any like topics you are specific on, or just excited for any episode that like
I
your line?
think we kind of talked about like wanting to continue to do the some Asian content, some trans and queer content. For a minute there, like I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, it felt like, oh, corporate media is producing so much of this like identity based content, and I was like, I don't need to be another addition to that pile, but actually I'm interested in doing more of it. I think that in the
I
past,
think
like it probably just like a part of my self-loathing growing up being,
no, I get it. I think what you're kind
mixed.
of like aiming at is like how these corporations are trying to use that to kind of like get you in to kind of like um
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
like some
they found it
propaganda.
to be profitable at the time,
It's like
and it's
Disneyify
less
like
profitable, perhaps.
Disneyify being like Asian or something or Disneyify something like that.
Sure, 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 sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I would yeah.
you're probably not going to get an authentic vision of that's true to most people's
I'm Filipino.
experience.
I'll take whatever representation I get. So
It really
that's
is, yeah.
historically happened.
The East Asians versus the
Oh
rest of
God.
Asia, which I don't know if people know this, but Asia is pretty big. Yeah, like the East Asians,
Pretty
like the
big.
monopoly on being represented in the West, it's continues to be an issue.
Yeah,
But
cool.
yeah, I'm just like stoked that people are listening to this podcast. Sorry for a bit of an unframed random little episode in here,
I feel like the
but
moment they see it's a quarterly check-in, they'll probably like get it. Then this is the second time we're doing it, and this won't be the last. So I think
perhaps
they'll
next
get it.
time will come with a little bit more structure.
Yeah,
I'm going to work on that and have a little bit more of add an editorial aspect to the next episode that we do like this.
which is in October, which is near our third year.
Yeah.
This like which would be in November, right?
Which feels like, like a long time, like it's been a while, but then also
probably do an event.
Not at all.
Should probably do something then. No, that
Yeah.
I just thought about that just now.
Well, we're gonna do like more of these live conversations. I'm stoked about that, especially like this last one. I didn't even have to get up there in front of people. I didn't have to be perceived by the public.
Oh yeah.
That was nice. Lavelle and Stab took on the hosting duties, which I much appreciated. But yeah, we will probably do more events. Certainly gonna do some events later in the year, I think.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll probably announce it when we have it more.
We will. I need to do a better job of announcing this stuff, posting it on all the various channels. Been trying to start like doing little videos about it, but with people's algorithms, you just never know if it's going to get to them. So I need to like start posting.
That's why you just got to be posting consistently.
Yeah, because then it's like a central place for people to go. Also, just dropping a line in a podcast will do a better job of just giving people advance notice of events, because we want to like have people come out and support these. I don't know, like just meeting people, like support, like just creating community around people who are doing different direct actions, who are resisting the hegemonic conservative culture.
Right. There are a lot of more stories to be told.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for if you've gotten to this point. Can't believe you listened to the whole thing, but you made it. And
congratulations.
Go
to the Patreon if you're able to.
Yes.
If you made it, I guess. Comment.
Yeah, and then
comment something. I don't know.
Yeah. Patreon.com/San Francisco. Also, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, San Francisco Podcast.
Yes, we're almost at 500, which is crazy.
Yeah, we need to get that number up. Again, like I have not done a good job of plugging the YouTube, but
if you listen to just only this in audio form, you could see our faces, which is you could
maybe a good thing, maybe
a good thing, maybe I don't know, but yeah,
maybe it takes away from the experience. But in any case, that is an option for most of the episodes.
Okay. I'm gonna call it here.
All right. Thank you for listening to San Francisco. I am Toshio Meronek, and my co-producer is Tofu Estolas. Patreon.com/San Francisco is where you can find our past episodes and transcripts, and it's also where you can help us out with a donation. And if you do, it comes with some benefits like getting the episodes a few days early, and our gratitude for allowing us to keep making this podcast, which we love to do. See you next time in San Francisco.